Welcome to the next lesson, calculating your final profit numbers. And in this lesson, we're going to cover calculating the final profit numbers for each of your top product opportunities, what's a good profit margin, and then how to use this information to choose your top product opportunity. By now, you should have entered the true product costs for each of your top products and for each supplier. That means it's time to use something we talked about several lessons ago, the FBA Revenue Calculator. So let's take action right now. Let's use the FBA Revenue Calculator to calculate your final profit for each product opportunity. I'm going to go into my spreadsheet right now and show you how it's done. Okay, so now remember the easiest way to find the FBA Revenue Calculator is to simply Google search it, and it'll be the top listing. Now, the first thing we're going to need is the Unique Product Identifier, also known as the ASIN, and we can find that on our spreadsheet by clicking on the product. We'll start off with the mini clothing steamer. We'll click on the link, and the ASIN is always up there at the very end. We'll copy that, and then we'll paste it into here and hit search. Now, if it finds multiple products, that's okay. You just pick the one that you know is the one you're looking for, and that's this one right here. There's the image. Let's go look. Yep, that's definitely the right image. Now, there's three other things we're going to need again. We're going to need the selling price, what we plan to sell it for, the total shipping fees to Amazon, and the way that we enter this, we enter the shipping costs, plus I include the 20-cent labeling fee that Amazon's going to charge us as well, and then the total cost of the product for the supplier. Once we enter those, we'll hit calculate, and that's going to tell us our true profit margin. So we'll go over to our spreadsheet, and for this product, the price that we can use, the target price, is simply the price that we saw when we were researching it. That'll be $29.99. We'll enter that as our item price over here. Now the shipping fees to Amazon is going to include the 20-cent label item fee. So that'll be right here, the shipping fee, $105 plus 20 cents. That's a total of $1.25. We'll enter that right here. And now we need the cost that this supplier quoted us for this product, including everything, packaging, labels, whatever we're going to need there, inserts or whatever it is. And that price is $6.15. Enter that in. And then we'll hit calculate. And our net profit is $13.84 for a total of 46.15%. Very good profit margin. Now we need to enter that number right there, the net profit dollar amount, $13.84, into our spreadsheet. So right here, 13.84. And there we can see our profit margin is 46.15. That's also what Amazon is saying. So this is definitely a good product opportunity. And what we'll need to do is repeat this for all three suppliers on this product. So the next one, the only difference over here is going to be the product cost. The shipping to Amazon will be exactly the same. The labeling fees are the same. So let's just go over there and update that with the $6.50. So we're going to change just the cost of the product right here, $6.50. Hit calculate. And our profit margin went down a little bit because this product's more expensive. So our margin is $13.49. Looks like I already have that over there, $13.49, for a profit margin of $44.98. It's matching up right there. And just, the only thing I'm doing with these profit margins is I am, again, dividing the profit number over the price, and that gives us the profit margin. So once you have the necessary information back from your suppliers, it's your turn to calculate the final profit numbers for your top three product opportunities and for all three suppliers of them. And speaking of profit, let's go back and talk a little bit about what a good profit margin is. So let's talk a little bit about profit margins. People always want to know what a good profit margin is. Of course, the higher the better. But in this industry, we've seen that having at least a 30% profit margin is really good, and that's what you want to target. And again, the profit margin is your profit in dollars divided by your selling price. A really good one is 50% or higher. And the reason that we're saying the higher the better, other than the obvious reasons, is that you should count on spending some amount on advertising all the time. We always factor in 10% of what we sell should go towards advertising. Some people do much, much more. They're very aggressive. Some people do a little less. But in this business, you need to count on having to get some paid traffic. So budget on some amount, and 10% is a good amount for that. Also, count on giving away at a steep discount some products during your initial product launch. It can be as few as 20 or as many as 100 to several hundred. It's completely up to you. Some people go very aggressive and give away hundreds and hundreds. Other people just give away a handful. Of course, the more competitive your niche is, the more products you might need to give away at a steep discount in order to start seeing some traction in the search rankings. You can also likely raise your product later to increase your profit margins, but you need to be honest about it. If you're going to charge more for your product or count on charging more, you have to truly believe that your product is better and higher quality and that other people will want to spend money on the product, a higher dollar amount on it, because they're going to see the value. If you're selling just the exact same product as someone else, it's going to be a little more of a struggle in order to demand higher prices and therefore higher profits. But you also might be able to increase your profit margin by reducing costs. So if you start ordering larger volumes, you might get a volume discount from your supplier, or you simply might be able to negotiate with your supplier after a time in order to get some cheaper prices. So we're now finally to the point that we've all been waiting for, and that's to choose our final product opportunity so we can actually order the samples, receive the product, test it out, and then finally place an inventory order. But it's not just a numbers game. So when you decide and make the decision on what is going to be the top product opportunity, there are several things to think about. First off, you do need to think about profit and which one of these has the highest likelihood of making you the most profit each month. But maybe there's one that simply won't make you enough and it's just as easy to remove it from the list. Maybe everything else looks good, but the numbers just aren't there, so you can take that right out of the equation. Or is there one that's kind of in the middle? It makes a decent profit, but you really have a lot of interest in that product. It's something you can see yourself really starting to enjoy and easily launch more and more products down the road. Or perhaps there's one that has a way less competition. Again, maybe it's not the highest profit margin, but its competitors that are out there only have a few hundred reviews, and you definitely see an ability for you to get in there and start ranking very quickly. So, taking that into account, knowing that it's not just profit, there are other factors involved, I want you to do this right now. Look at your products, think about the things we just talked about, and then choose your top product opportunity. Once you do that, head right over into the next lesson, and we're going to start ordering your samples. So thanks, and I'll see you there.